Hello. Hi. So I'm beginning, well, obviously, episode 4. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of why episode 3 came a little, admittedly, late. And so the reason is, well, first of all, my phone broke. Um, and second of all, my mom wanted to see me. So I spent a day, my mom wanted to see me. I haven't seen her in a long while because of complex reasons that I will not get into, that I won't be getting into. Um, there's a lot of family conflict I have with my mom uh, at the time, and even though she did stuff I dislike, I'm very much against. I still love her. I love this good boy sitting over here. I don't know if you can see him. Well, anyways, so it is time to get to the episode 4 on what if the Axis powers were moral. So, last time we saw America having a conflict. This is a civil war within America. This is a sort of proxy. This is a war between America and Britain. America is going into Canada, really messing around with stuff there, and supporting a Quebecois rebellion, whilst the British are supporting a black rebellion because they have every reasons to. And so the Civil War eventually ends, obviously, but the thing is that Quebec is made a separate dominion from Canada. Um, they eventually they eventually join Canada again, but under better conditions. But as well as the various southern states, uh, our government is forced to retreat from these areas. So Florida, uh, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. And so what eventually happens is that the local states, they sort of take their own initiative and they strive for what they view as the common and public good. In some cases, states directly controlled by the rebellion are turned into black ethno-states. So that would be, um, I guess, Mississippi and Alabama. There, of course, are white supremacist terrorists. The current situation is very similar to Zimbabwe, but much more moral, and they have actual reasons to fight instead of, communism. And, uh, maybe Louisiana, they do their own thing. Alabama, Mississippi, each of these states, they do their own thing. But Florida, meanwhile, unites with Cuba. And even though America eventually goes to Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, Florida remains a part of Cuba. So, following this sort of chaos bullshit, well, Russia news comes out of the increasingly isolationist Russia, where they test their first nuclear weapon, increasing its power significant, and the Russian nation becomes far more powerful and part of the big five powers. It is the most isolationist out of all of them, though. In 1972, following the failed coup attempt in America, Germany has a political revolution. Yes, Germany. The German military was very concerned about the failed coup d'etat. They know that the military no longer has the world's power. And so what eventually is done is that the military cooperates with the civilian. And a sort of situation where the civilians get to take over their part of the German government, and the German military gets their own part. And so powers split evenly among the civilians and the military. The final compromise is the restoration of the Kaiser, which is a figure in which the civilians and the military are both beholden to. The nation eventually further democratizes along the path of the Kaiser, but the Kaiser still keeps somewhat of a power. Following this, the age of decolonization begins as the world becomes less authoritarian and more democratic. Philippines, Jordan, Syria, India, Pakistan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and Israel gain independence. With the latterest country there, Palestine, they make some sort of deal with Palestine, and there's a much smaller Jewish population, so Palestine also becomes independent. It reduces some of the tension, but there's still some tension. 1981, Eritrea is given to Ethiopia. Sudan, Tunisia, Morocco, Ghana, and Malaya, Guinea. More and more countries become more and more independent. Now I'm going to talk about a little nation called Rhodesia. So in this world, Rhodesia would actually be more likely to succeed in their mission. Rhodesia would not be fighting against communism. And so their nation would continue to strive, and it would continue to fight on and march on. They would be far more victorious. Uh, I can see, but eventually they would have to compromise with the revolutionaries because they very much outnumber the Rhodesians. A majority can keep a minority down for an indefinite amount of time. That is not the case with a minority and a majority. Um, but eventually, you know, as the age of decolonization continues, more technology is held. In 1997, Canada invents the internet. And in 2011, Canada hosts the Global Technology Expo and becomes well known for technological prowess. Canada and Japan are the two most technologically advanced nations in this world. One can see Canada and Japan as both cyberpunk nations in this world. Well, anyways, that's about it for the um, well episode. So, see you later. Have a wonderful time. До свидания, товарищи. This is Julius Caesar getting stabbed by Brutus.